So it looks like in Doom Eternal, Gore Nests are actually going to play a little bit of a different role than compared to Doom 2016. Now we know at least two different kind of Gore Nests exist. One of these being the Super Gore Nest, which of course was that concept art that we saw all that time ago, or of course it was one of the arenas that we saw in the very first gameplay back at QuakeCon 2018. And the other one that we've barely seen anything for is the Golden Gore Nest. Although we've not actually got to interact or mess around with these Gore Nests yet, we do know a little bit on how they're going to work. And they're going to be kind of similar to what they were in Doom 2016, but a lot more rare and actually a secret this time compared to actually coming across them in the game. Well, that is the golden ones anyway, because we still might actually see regular Gore Nests in the game, I don't know yet. But as for the Golden Gore Nests, according to Hugo and Marty, they are going to be secrets, or at least most of the way, and they're going to be very rare. And you're going to have to find these using mostly probably a Slayer key. Now a Slayer key is something that's hidden across these huge maps that unlocks this specific arena. So these are obviously going to be hard to find in themselves, because you have to find these before you can even go into this Golden Gore Nest area and face the next challenge. So Slayer keys will be hidden on the map. They was hidden actually in one of the gameplay demo levels that we saw at QuakeCon 2019, and they did talk about this in one of the interviews. So if you're lucky enough to find it, unfortunately it wouldn't actually open up this area, because this area wasn't actually loaded for anyone to try out at QuakeCon 2019. But it was still here, and it just shows you kind of an idea on how it's going to work. So then they decided to talk about it a little more after this. So what they said was, after you found a Slayer key and entered the Golden Gore Nest area, it would be like a normal kind of Gore Nest where you would destroy it, and afterwards you would have a super challenge to face. Now I'm unclear if this challenge is just like a normal regular Gore Nest fight, or it'd be something like maybe a rune trial in Doom 2016 where you'd have a specific challenge, because these look like they're going to be in specific arenas. So these arenas look like they're not actually part of the normal level and they're in a whole different place altogether, like the ones back in Doom 2016 with the rune trials. So maybe it'd be similar to that, where you have to fight a certain amount of enemies with a shotgun, low health or something like that. So maybe afterwards you would unlock something special, maybe like a new mod, or maybe just a collectible along the way. But that's kind of how these are going to work. So like I said, there are other Gore Nests in this game as well, but Golden Gore Nests are going to act slightly different, but they're going to be much more rare to find, and when you do find them, you've got to find the Slayer key as well, and of course you have to actually face the challenge afterwards. So yeah, they actually said this is going to be like a super challenge, so it's supposed to be really difficult. So that's probably why these are going to appear maybe less than once a level. So that's why I kind of think these are going to replace, or at least go alongside, rune trials. Because as far as I know, I've not actually seen anything or heard anything of rune trials yet. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe they're not actually going to be in the game, and they have actually been replaced by Golden Gore Nests. The only other thing that's kind of unclear is if the Slayer keys will actually have any other role with them besides just opening up these Golden Gore Nests. Maybe a Slayer key will unlock something else specific on other levels and the Golden Gore Nests on the others. I don't know, but this seems to be at this point one of the few roles that the Slayer key serves. And of course the Slayer key is going to be very difficult to find. The one in the actual gameplay we saw at QuakeCon 2019 wasn't crazy to find, it was just slightly off the actual main path. But I think that was just specifically for this demo, just so they can showcase what everything is, like the Slayer key and the Golden Gore Nest. But when it comes to the actual main game, Slayer keys are going to be very hard to find, because there's only going to be one of these or maybe two hidden on each level, and of course as we know the levels are going to be absolutely huge and filled with lots of different secrets and places to explore, so it's going to be very difficult to actually locate one of these. So that obviously adds up to the overall difficulty of these Golden Gore Nests. Before you can even fight it, you got to find it. So yeah, that's Slayer keys and Golden Gore Nests. I do like the idea of this. I think it's going to add a lot more sort of exploration for the map, actually trying to find these things. and of course challenge, because the Golden Gore Nests are going to be very difficult, I should imagine. And hopefully a bit later on we do find out a little bit more about how these Golden Gore Nests are going to work. Hopefully we do get to see some gameplay for this, because at the minute it's just talk from the interview, but we did get a good idea on what it's going to be. So anyway, what do you think of this? Do you think it looks a bit silly? Because I can understand that it does. The Golden Gore Nest can look very kind of arcadey with their new sort of shining gold look compared to the original Doom 2016 Gore Nest. Or do you think this idea is awesome? Because I like the idea. I think it's going to add a lot more challenge to the game. I'm kind of glad that the Golden Gore Nests are only a secret only and not actually going to be part of the main game. Because if it was actually part of the main game, I think the Golden Gore Nest would definitely look out of place. Because that is something that would take a little bit of getting used to with Doom Eternal, is the overall sort of arcade feel that it's going for. A lot of stuff in Doom Eternal is very much like an arcade game compared to what we've actually seen in Doom's history. But honestly, I think it's all been good so far. As for Gore Nest, I do think it's going to be some kind of like rune trial on the side kind of challenge mode, but it would be great to see more gameplay before actually deciding if it's going to be great or not. I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't. I think it looks pretty awesome, but only time will tell. I don't know if we'd actually see any gameplay for these before Doom Eternal's release, or we'd actually have to wait for the game to come out. But anyway, this has been Rockhard Gamer 45, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.